What's up, good people? This is Karano Steven from Global Wave, and as always, your satisfaction is always our number one priority. Now, today I'll be speaking on some of the things you need to consider before you start a business and give you some ideas on what you need to consider before you start that business that you've always been thinking of. Before we continue, so remember that we at Global Wave can help you source any kind of products from China, from Vietnam, from UAE, and any other part of the world that you think people buy goods and import in the country. So feel free to reach out to us. Kimbia Pale Play Store, download our mobile application, and we will be more than happy to be of service to you. So first, before you start a business, you need to have a business idea. And this business idea, you need to have to be passionate about it and be interested in it. So passion and interest, that comes first. Passion and interest. You need to be passionate about what you want to do, and you also have to be interested in it. So is your business idea something you are passionate about? Your passion will fuel your motivation and drive during the challenging times. So make sure you're passionate about what you're doing and you love doing what you want to do. Two, you also need to consider market demand. So is there a market for the product or service you want to provide? Conduct thorough market research to identify your target audience and their needs. If you do this, trust me, you're going to be winning. So I've said, when you're considering your business idea, first you need to be passionate and interested. Two, market demand. You check the market of the service or the product you want to provide. And on the same business idea, unique selling prepositions. So USP. I hope you understand about that. You can check it out on the internet. So you have to make sure your USP is at par. So unique selling points. What makes your business stand out from the competitors? Like any kind of business you want to start, someone else is doing the same. So what makes you stand out? What makes you different? What makes you unlike the others? So if before you start that business, you need to have your business idea in mind, and now consider the factors I've just mentioned before you come up with an idea. So secondly, after you have the business idea, you've considered all the factors that we've spoken about, you need to then plan about your finances. So two is financial planning. So financial planning means money, definitely money. Before you start any kind of business, you need money. And how do we get this money? So you really need to consider all these factors. Are you able to? Are you financially capable? So startup costs. How much money do I need to start this business? So startup cost determines the initial investments required for equipment, so inventory, marketing, and other expenses. So maybe if I'm starting a business, I want to sell computers, I need to get a shop. So a computer shop requires me to have a shop. That is the first expense. I need to have the computers themselves, the inventory, which are my stock. So I need to consider the amount of money I need for me to start this business. So these are what we call expenses. Then funding sources. Explore different funding options, such as personal savings, loans, or investors. You can also sell your idea to a friend. Niaje, I am planning to start this kind of business. Would you be interested? Pitch your idea. Maybe someone has the money, which you do not. So don't just sit there with your idea. You can share your idea with someone else who's going to help you fuel that idea, and maybe they can be an investor into your business. And finally, financial projections. So create a financial plan that includes projected income, expenses, and profitability. So I've said, before we start a business, first we need to have a business idea. Secondly, we need to plan financially. And I've tried to expand on the points that I've just given you. Then thirdly, legal and regulation considerations. So you need to know that I'm running my business in this particular country. What does my country require of me? What licenses do I need to have for this business? How do I get the licenses? How do I pay tax? Something like that. So business structures, choose the appropriate legal structures for a business. Sole proprietorship, corporation. So another thing, before you start a business, we have things like business name. You might be running your business under someone else's business name, which can, like, you can be sued if you're not careful. So you need to do a research on your name, the business name you're giving your company, and also make sure your company is registered. So if you're starting a business and you want to apply for a tender, for instance, I'm speaking of Kenya, you need to be a company that is registered by the law and known. So that is why I'm saying legal and regulation consideration. So business structures, I've said choose the appropriate legal structures for your company. Is it a limited liability? Is it a sole proprietorship? Is it a partnership? So all that needs to be registered under the correct platforms. Secondly, license and permits. I've mentioned that. So when you're about to run a business, we have the licenses that we need for the business. Municipality will be always come checking. So you need to consider those, and then legal compliances. Ensure your business complies with all relevant laws and regulations. So you've done your research, you're passionate about the business you want to do. Now you have planned financially, and you've considered all the legal and regulation considerations. You know all that you require to do for your business. And then you have to go to marketing and sales strategies. How do you sell these products? How do you market them? How do you market them? So target market. Define your define your ideal customers and their preferences. Define your ideal customers and their preferences. What do my customers want? What do my customers need? So once you've defined your ideal customers and their preferences, then you look for a marketing channel. What do I mean by marketing channel? Determine the most effective marketing channels to reach the target audience. So we have, at the first point, we target our target market. Secondly, we come to marketing channels. So you determine the most effective marketing channels to reach your target audience. So for example, social media, online advertising, content marketing. So like you just make sure that after you've identified your target market, you do the marketing channels, you choose a correct marketing channel. Then we have sales strategies. So how do you sell? What strategies do you use? So develop a sales strategy to generate leads, convert customers, and build long-term relationships. Sawa. So marketing and sales strategy. After you've considered all these factors. So 1, I said business idea. 2, financial planning. 3, legal and regulations consideration. 4, marketing and sales strategies. Now on my 5th point, terms and operations. So skills and experience. Identify the skills and experience for your business and determine if you need to have employees or outsource certain functions. So once you have a business, it's all set up, you've identified how you're going to be marketing your business. Now you set terms and operations, like this is how I want my business to run, and these are the kind of people I want on board. How many employees do I need? Do I really need them? Or will I be having employees that are just a liability to the business? So skill and expertise, you just make sure. Maybe sometimes your workload requires someone who can work for a day or two, and then the workload reduces. So you can consider that. Maybe you can hire day scholars, those guys that come for a day and then leave. Secondly, operations plans. So create a plan for your daily operations, including inventory management, customer service, and production process. So you make sure all these things are well aligned. And then to my 6th point, risk assessment and mitigations. What are the kind of risks that this business that I want to do entails? Because all businesses have their pros and cons. So what are the what are the cons of this business that I want to get into. So you need to identify the risk factors of what you're getting yourself into. So potential risk, identify potential risk that could impact your business, such as economic downturns, competition, or changes in regulations. Things change in our systems. A lot of things will change, like especially in Kenya. So things will change. You need to be prepared for all that. Then we have risk mitigation strategies. How do you solve such scenarios where, okay, this has come up? How do you tackle this kind of situation? How do you work to prevent your business from facing a crisis in case we have a problem? So that is what I mean by risk mitigation and strategies. So fourth, I will have personal consideration. Time commitment. Time commitment. Now we're talking about you. You have to consider yourself too. So time commitment. Starting a business requires significant time and effort. So be prepared to dedicate long hours and make sacrifices. I repeat, time commitment. So before you start your own business, you need to have time for the business. It requires a lot of time, long hours for you. Maybe you'll be sleeping late, waking up early. So time commitment. Secondly, financial risk. So you might end up starting this kind of business, umeweka pesa, and your money, because it might not all work out. So that is something you need to be aware about. So the financial risk, be aware of the financial risk involved and have a backup plan if things don't go as expected. Because when we think of a business idea, we are all win. We are all, okay, this business is going to work out for me. This business is going to be a win for me. It's something that we are all positive about. We are all positive that once we start a business, it's going to be booming. But all kind of businesses have risks. So make sure you know the financial risk and what it's going to do to you personally. Third, stress management. Learn effective stress management techniques to cope with the challenge of entrepreneurship. So once you've considered all these factors, I believe you're good to go and you're ready to start your own business. So remember, this is Karano Steven from Global Wave, where we help you ignite your idea and be your own boss. And how do we help you do that? We can help you source products from China, from UAE, from Vietnam, and bring them to your doorstep. Remember, you can also always be, you always need to be positive. You can shop with us, and you can also be an affiliate or a drop shipper. We have a class telling all that, and we are also going to have a class on the 13th. Register, come get knowledge, get impacted with positive vibes. This was Steven. That is my time, and peace out. See you around. Bye bye. Ciao.